Picture a bite that arrives before your brain finishes the word danger. The black mamba doesn't just strike fast. It delivers a shutdown command straight into living nerves. The mystery isn't only speed. It's what speed allows. Neurotoxic venom reaching the body's control lines early, before panic becomes action, and before lungs remember how to breathe. On land, a missed second is a missed meal. The black mamba lives in the margin, where reaction times decide everything, and it hunts like time itself is a weapon it owns. But the real terror is quieter than the strike. The venom doesn't smash tissue. It interferes with communication, and the body collapses because messages stop arriving. This is Dendroaspis polylepis, long, alert, and built for pursuit. Its legend is loud, but its biology is sharper, and that biology answers how shutdown can happen so fast. Forget the name for a second. Look at the design. A narrow head, a long neck, a body made for distance, and a nervous system that turns one opening into a full-body emergency. The question driving everything today is simple and brutal. How can the fastest venomous strike on land pair with neurotoxins to switch a body off so quickly it feels unreal? To answer it, we have to track two clocks at once: the mechanical clock of the strike and the chemical clock of venom moving from the bite site into the circuits that run you. Start with the hardware. A black mamba is long, muscular, and relatively light for its length, which helps it accelerate without dragging its own mass through friction. Its skull is built for rapid mouth opening and closing. The fangs are fixed in the front, ready at all times, so there's no delay unfolding a delivery system. Venom glands sit behind the eyes like loaded reservoirs. When the mamba bites, muscles squeeze those glands, pushing venom forward through ducts and into the hollow fangs. And here's the twist. A fast strike isn't just about catching prey. It's about injecting before the target's body can choose flight, fight, or even coordination. Inside, the venom is a cocktail tuned for nerves. Instead of dissolving flesh, key components target synapses, the junctions where one cell tells the next one what to do. Your muscles move when motor neurons release a chemical signal. If that signal is blocked or distorted, the muscle isn't wounded. It's simply not receiving permission to contract. Think of the body as a network, not a machine. When the network loses clean signaling, strength becomes irrelevant. Even a powerful animal can become still because control fails first. Mamba venom includes fast-acting neurotoxins that bind to receptors involved in transmission at the neuromuscular junction. Binding is small and microscopic, but the consequence is massive. Once receptors are occupied, the chain reaction spreads. Muscles can weaken, coordination degrades, and the most critical muscles of all, those used for breathing, enter the danger zone. Speed matters because venom doesn't need to be everywhere. It only needs to reach the right junctions early. After that, the victim's own biology finishes the collapse. Dose and placement change everything. A deep bite into a well-perfused area can move venom into circulation faster than a shallow hit, turning minutes into a narrower window. Neurotoxic venom is about precision. It doesn't need a lot of tearing damage to be lethal, because it hijacks the very language cells use to coordinate survival. For prey animals, the first seconds are a test of wiring. When their movements become clumsy, they can't sprint, can't climb, can't hide. They're alive, but losing control. So the core answer begins to form. The mamba's strike buys time for chemistry. and the chemistry attacks the system that produces speed in the first place. Now, watch how it uses that advantage. The black mamba is an active hunter, often moving through habitat with intent, scanning and sampling the world for movement and opportunity. When it commits, the strike is not a dramatic lunge for show. It is efficient, a quick in and out contact that reduces the risk of injury from claws, teeth, or desperate kicks. And if the target doesn't drop immediately, the mamba can follow. A fast animal with a fast venom doesn't have to gamble on one perfect moment. It can pressure the clock. Its posture is a warning and a calculation. Elevating the front body increases reach and control, keeping the head mobile while the rest of the body anchors for rapid strikes. Here's the perspective shift. The mamba isn't just fast in attack, it's fast in decision-making, because hesitation is expensive when your venom works best on a tight timeline. A quick strike also reduces exposure. Holding on invites counterattack. Releasing quickly means the mamba avoids wrestling, letting the venom do work while the snake stays intact. The prey's response is predictable at first: sprint, zigzag, hide. But neurotoxins punish complex movement. The very act of escaping can accelerate venom distribution through circulation. Black mambas often use terrain like edges and cover to funnel a chase. A fleeing animal forced into a corridor loses options, and options are what buy time against venom. If threatened, the mamba can deliver multiple bites in rapid succession. That isn't rage. It's dosage management under stress, increasing the chance that shutdown outpaces escape. This speed is not unlimited. Sustained high-speed movement burns energy and heats the body. The mamba's strategy is to spend that burst only when it can convert it into certainty. In daylight, its dark body can look almost matte against shadows. That matters because detection time is part of the equation. If prey sees it late, the strike arrives earlier than expected. The black mouth display is not just mythic theater. It's a signal that tries to stop the fight before it starts, because even a top predator can lose to one unlucky injury. And that's the uncomfortable truth. The deadliness is also fear management. A venom that ends conflicts quickly protects the snake as much as it kills the prey. After a bite, tracking matters. The mamba uses chemical cues and movement patterns to relocate a weakening animal, minimizing time spent exposed in the open while the venom progresses. Unlike ambush specialists, it can patrol and return to productive routes. Mobility is part of its identity, and that mobility pairs perfectly with a venom designed to interrupt mobility in others. Even the choice of prey matters. Fast, alert mammals are risky targets, but a neurotoxin that erases coordination shifts the balance, turning speed from defense into a temporary illusion. Every second after contact is a race between two systems. Prey tries to reach shelter. Venom tries to reach junctions. The mamba wins by making that race brutally short. So the strike is not a single moment. It's the first domino. The real event is what unfolds next, as the nervous system loses reliability one connection at a time. For prey, the early stage can be deceptive. They may still run, still fight, still look functional, but small failures appear. A stumble, a delayed leap, a bad turn. Neurotoxic collapse is not always loud. It can be quiet loss of fine control first, then larger muscle weakness, then the life-critical failure when breathing muscles can't keep rhythm. Now, zoom out. The mamba's danger isn't only in killing. It reshapes behavior around it. Animals that survive encounters learn avoidance, and that fear reorganizes the landscape. But the mamba pays for its reputation. Being noticed invites retaliation from other predators, from protective parents, and from humans. A visible hunter becomes a target. Venom itself is costly to make. It's protein-rich, metabolically expensive, and not infinite. That's why a fast, efficient bite matters. Less waste, less time, fewer risks. When cornered, the snake's display is measured. Raised body, fixed attention, readiness. It's a boundary line. Cross it, and the strike becomes a last resort with surgical speed. Here's the unsettling flip. The black mamba is not optimized to attack humans. The danger spikes when fear forces proximity, because speed leaves no room for negotiation. In the human body, the same rule applies. Venom targeting transmission can produce escalating paralysis. Without treatment, the critical threat becomes respiratory failure, not a visible wound. Modern antivenom changes the story, but it has a timing problem. The faster the strike, and the faster the neurotoxins act, the more the outcome depends on minutes and logistics. This is why the mamba's speed is terrifying in practice. It compresses the timeline for help, compresses the timeline for decisions, and turns distance to a hospital into a biological factor. And still, most encounters end without a bite. The snake wants space. It wants an exit route. The horror is that if escape fails, the remaining option happens too fast to interrupt. So speed and venom don't just kill prey. They prevent prolonged struggle, reduce injuries to the snake, and intensify risk when an interaction turns into a close-range mistake. Then, the story turns colder. Survival isn't the goal. Reproduction is. And for the black mamba, reproduction begins with tension, because adults are dangerous to each other. Males may engage in ritualized combat, testing strength and endurance without the purpose of feeding. The winner earns access, and the loser retreats before the cost becomes lethal. Notice what changed. The same body built to end prey quickly must now avoid ending a rival. Selection favors control, because reckless killing would erase future mating chances. After mating, females lay eggs, often in sheltered sites where temperature and humidity are stable enough for development. The next generation starts as quiet chemistry, not speed. Egg development is a slow vulnerability. Predators, weather, and disturbance can wipe out a clutch. The mamba's lethal toolkit doesn't protect embryos from everything that wants easy food. Hatchlings emerge already equipped with venom and instinct. They don't need lessons. They need luck, because small snakes are hunted by birds, mammals, and larger reptiles. As they grow, the body lengthens, muscles thicken, and the strike becomes more commanding. But growth requires feeding, and feeding requires risk, repeated until adulthood is earned. So the legend doesn't come from being born monstrous. It comes from surviving long enough to assemble the full package: speed, venom, and the judgment to use both efficiently. In the ecosystem, the black mamba is a pressure point. By hunting small mammals and birds, it influences who thrives, who hides, and which behaviors become standard for survival. Prey populations adapt around predators like this. Faster vigilance, altered foraging times, and different nesting choices can appear over generations, because the cost of being careless is absolute. Even scavengers are affected. A neurotoxin-based kill can leave a carcass without massive tearing, changing which animals can access it first, and how long it lasts in heat and insects. But ecology has a second edge. Remove a top predator, and the ripple can be uglier than expected. The absence of fear can create new excesses, and the system destabilizes quietly. Humans enter this web as both threat and force. Habitat change alters where mambas hunt and hide, increasing accidental encounters and turning a wild adaptation into a public health problem. So the mamba becomes a lesson in proximity. Its speed and neurotoxins evolved for prey, but our roads and homes can place bodies in the strike zone, where biology doesn't negotiate. At the end, the horror is not supernatural. It's a perfectly natural design. A snake that wins by acting before your body can coordinate a response, then cutting the signals that remain. The fastest venomous strike on land is terrifying because it compresses reality. It shortens the distance between normal movement and helplessness, and makes time itself feel unreliable. And here's the final angle. The black mamba doesn't turn bodies off with rage. It does it with timing and neurochemistry, the two things living systems can't escape. So, when you ask how speed and venom shut the body down so fast, the answer is that the strike steals your first chance, and the toxins steal the rest. Comment the next animal you want dissected in the dark, and subscribe to stay with us when nature moves faster than thought.